Hey guys, and welcome to another edition of The Wrong Relationship Project presents Relationship Talk with Mara Moline. And I am your host, Mara Moline, and I'm here with my lovely co-host, Nikki Amore. Shouts out to Nikki.
Yes.
Also, as you guys are coming in, be sure to follow us on Twitter at The Wrong RP. Also on Instagram, The Wrong Relationship Project. And Facebook, Relationship Talk with Mara Moline, and The Wrong Relationship Project. And also subscribe. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube page. So if you ever miss any of our shows, you can go to our YouTube page, which is The Wrong Relationship Project. So subscribe. And also share this broadcast on your page so people would know what you're watching. And also show us some love. You know, press the hearts, send us some smiley faces, thumbs up, all that good stuff.
Definitely comment. We read all the comments. We try to respond while we're on air, but even if we don't, we do read all of them.
Definitely. We do read all the comments from the people who come in and want to go back and forth with us. So today's topic, Nikki, is career and money, pants versus pumps. So it's career, money, pants versus pumps. Now, today's topic comes with, we've been talking about just the shift in our generation with just the acceptance of just a lot of different roles with men and women. The last time I think we talked about men in marriage, but the other show that we had was family. So we talked about how the role of men have changed in the family. We talked about, the last show we had was men in marriage, and we talked about, do men really find marriage beneficial, And so we want to know how the shift in just thought processes and changes has affected the relationship between a man and woman in the workplace with the money and everything like that. So today's topic, we'll be diving into those really interesting things. But before we do, Nikki wanted to share her brand.
Oh, it's not my personal brand, but it is a brand that I am associated with. I love their t-shirts. I've been purchasing from them for the past 2 years, and I just so happen to be a part of this little group that they have now, but it's called Le Motto. I don't know if it's English or not, but it's spelled Lemotto. And they do have a plethora of different sizes for shirts, but it's basically a t-shirt company that has all inspirational quotes on it. So it's nothing negative. It's all inspirational. So like this one that I have on says, "Love is why we are here." So if you like them, just check them out. I love wearing t-shirts on the weekend. Just pop one on. You're good to go.
Yes, and you guys can follow Nikki Amore on where?
On Instagram and on Facebook. On Instagram, it is Nikki_Amore, and on Facebook, it is Nikki Antoine.
Also, I want to make another announcement. Now, I do have another event that I do, and it's called Let's Talk About It Over Coffee, which is a collaboration of talking about relationships and sharing my coffee business. I do have a coffee business, and I will share the link to that coffee business on this broadcast. But be sure to check out my coffee business. We have coffee, we have lattes, we have teas. We also have a weight maintenance shake. And so, I'm going to try to get my sexy back and drop this weight and things like that for the new year. But that won't be my New Year's resolution. It's just going to be something I want to get it together. So be sure to check out my website with my coffee business. Support a sister's business out here. She's trying to make it. Remember, we talk about career and money, right? Okay, so our first question of the day, as we talk about career and money, would be, how are men and women perceived in the workplace? Now, Nikki, you work for a bank, right?
I work for a credit union, yes.
Okay, you work for a credit union. I'm sorry.
There's a difference. There is a difference between a bank and a credit union, people. I'm just saying.
Chastised me for that, my bad. So being in a work environment like that, do you see that men and women are perceived differently, looked at differently, treated differently?
I would say yes. Not at my particular credit union, because my particular credit union, doesn't matter what race or gender you are. They are equal opportunity. But being in that industry, being that I have networked with other individuals that are in the banking and the credit union industry, both. I do see where it is harder for a woman to excel in the banking industry versus a man. You'll see that more men have those VP roles rather than women. Luckily for me, at our credit union, it's like equal. You do see a lot of VPs that are women as well as men. But in other industries and other banking industries, I have seen that there are less women that holds a higher role as far as VP. Like, you probably won't see as many women CEOs of a credit union or of a bank versus a man. You may see a lot of men in those roles. So you do see a difference between there. It is hard in some industries.
So I must agree with you, because when I was doing the research for it, it does say that as women go up in the career ladder, it's harder for them to get in those higher leadership roles. More men get those positions. They notice that more men for promotions, they get pushed over for a man, even if they're more qualified. Now, LOL, you work at a university.
Finally, y'all said my.
Being that you work at a university, LOL, do you see that men and women are perceived or treated differently when you're at work?
I think at the level that I am in, I can't really say that, only because we have deans that are women, and we also have deans that are men, and vice provosts. We have assistants, and so yeah, it's equal across the board. Now, if you're discussing presidents, yes, my university only had male presidents, so the toppest level at that organization, it has never been a female. It has always been male. So that would be the only time that I could honestly see that. But wherever there's opportunity in a university setting at the moment, I think anybody's up for grabs as long as you're in the culture, you're in the group to get that promotion.
Okay. Now that makes me think about just how people are treated, men and women are treated. What do you think the mindset of a man versus a woman is in their career? Do you think the mindset is different? So let's say we have two people who are a male, one male VP, and a woman who is a VP of whatever company. What do you think their mindset about their career is?
I absolutely think the mindset is different, only because there is a big difference in the way women think and men think in general, whether they have a VP position or not. I totally believe men and women think totally different. But I do think in some instances, women are more of nurturer. You're born with a nurturing mentality. So if you're a VP of a company, you're thinking more of, yes, beneficially, it may be good as far as money-wise for the company. But then you may also have the tendency of that VP that's a female to think, but emotionally and physically, is it good for the company? Because how will this affect my workers? Versus you see some male VPs, not all, because I will say, like our CEO, he is very big on family. But you do see some males where they're going to make the best business decision, not necessarily the best decision for all the workers involved or all the parties involved. It's just, if it makes sense on paper for the business to move this way so the business can excel and make more money, then that's what we're going to do.
So
and everybody has to adjust.
It sounds like you're saying women are more emotional even in the business
I
setting.
will say yes, we are. I mean, we will do what's best for the business, but we also look at the bigger picture. We have more things in our picture that we may sort of kind of consider versus what a man would. And not all men.
Let's
men.
hold off on that, saying that. Let's go on. What positions are we talking about when you're saying that?
2 VPs.
So you've experienced 2 VPs. One is being nurture and concerning about the whole organization, while the other is only focused on money. Because I don't know about that. I think in business,
and they were probably more ruthless than
yeah,
men.
it's.
But then you have to also realize VP is not the last stop. So say for instance, if
we're
you
given that particular
yeah, but what
example.
I'm saying is, like, say for instance, you see that they're ruthless. They're ruthless because they already got an order. This has came in, like, they're not the decision makers. If from upstairs the higher up says this is what needs to happen as a VP role, whether you agree with it or not, this is what you got to implement.
Right.
So
then,
it may be
then it depends on who's above the VP. So then we
Exactly,
can't
male
say
or
women,
female.
Right. So then we can't say a women is the nurturing type. That's why they focus on everyone, because if the order comes and say I want everyone to do this A B C D, then that VP, as female or male, has to come in and do A B C D.
That's true.
Are they going to skip letters just because they're like, oh no, I gotta nurture? Like I
I don't
see
think
how
they'll skip levels,
Why?
but I think women are more prone to.
And just go in there and be
I
ruthless.
totally agree.
You know what I'm saying? So, I when it comes to the mindset, I'm not really sure, because I know for men in just in life, well, LOL can answer this. You guys are more
Thank you
conquerors.
for acknowledging me as a man and not answering the question for us.
I'm not answering the question.
Taking
You
one for the team.
guys- as a man, when you get to that top, how does that feel? You know what I'm saying? Is it like you have now won a trophy? You know, it's something to put on your shoulder? Is it like, okay, yes, I am the man? How does that feel?
I mean, to be honest, you can look at any top dog, celebrity, anyone on the top. They tell you it's a lonely feeling, and two, it's hard work, because now you're at the top and you got to stay out there. Like, you have a lot of work to do. The top doesn't make it easy. Now you're competing not only against yourself, but everybody else who wants your position. So you got to work harder than. So yeah, that's how I feel. Like, getting to the top is not an easy breezy
Yeah, no, definitely.
thing. It's a lot more work.
Yeah, when I think about it, I think about.
But the
Oprah.
money's nice.
Yeah.
The money on the top is
I'm
nice.
Sure. I'm sure the money is
The
nice.
money.
All right, so our next section is: should men and women be paid the same?
I definitely think so.
You do?
I don't understand why, if we got the same job title, if we're doing the same exact thing, just because I'm a woman and you're a man, that doesn't mean you should get paid more than me. We think the same. We're doing the exact same thing. Why can't we get paid the exact same amount?
I agree. LOL.
Wow, this is a touchy subject. Maybe LOL should not speak on it.
Gabrielle, after this,
Go ahead and say that.
No, okay, answer this question for me. I'm going to answer the question,
Okay.
but answer this question. Are we talking about two people in the same company
Yes.
doing the same job?
Yes.
Then we don't need two people. Fire one of them.
What? That's not answering the question. That is not answering.
Negative.
I do understand
say-
what you're saying.
I would say, it's like a.
This should be an easy answer.
It isn't, because I know two males in the same position not getting paid the same just because their education level is different.
Yeah, but that's not what we're talking about.
They have
What
the
are
same title, but one, even at my institution, when we allow certain people to come in, there's a minimal and a max that you can pay someone.
Okay.
If you come in with more qualifications, more experience, I'm giving you more than someone who has nothing, because I have to work harder in order to train you for that position.
But what if it's the same playing field? We both got the same education. We are in the same role. And the only difference is our resume look the exact same. The only difference is you a man and I'm a female.
Exactly.
And one of you are probably going to get paid more than the other. Now, unfortunately, does the male statistically in past generations and stats, yes, the male gets that higher raise or pay than the females. But on the reverse, it has been some women that are getting more than the males.
But it is rare, because
It is rare. I'm not knocking
Right.
the rarity, but at the same time, no, you will never really go on a job and all VPs are getting the exact same pay.
No,
It's never gonna happen.
no, that's not what we're trying to compare.
That's rare on its own.
But I do see how you ain't answered the question, because we asked you, how did you feel? Do you
I'm
feel like a
trumping-
male?
I'm
And
trump the situation.
I see that's what you're doing,
I
because
work
you
at the
ain't
White
answered the
House.
question.
I'm running for government all day.
Because I was gonna bring up the scenario in the show Insecure, where
That's my show. I like that show.
exactly. Where Molly, she's a lawyer there, and
Is
also
this season 3?
This is season
No, this
2.
is the last season.
That
This
was
is
Season 2.
Yeah.
Okay,
They
I
haven't
watched
started
season 2
season
yet.
season 3 hasn't come. But anyways, Molly accidentally gets a check from another employee who
It's a
they're
man.
on the same playing field, but he's a white male.
And he's actually doing less work than her.
Yes,
She's doing
he's
more
doing-
work.
Yes, and he gets paid way more than she does.
In the eyes of who?
In the eyes of the check that she saw in her hand.
In the eyes of who?
What, doing more work?
Yeah.
Her. In the eyes of her.
On
She's
her
the-
No,
vision,
like
on her
no.
view.
Even on paper, like she had more cases under her belt. She was doing more work. She had more assignments. She was putting in overtime, helping the partners do more work. He wasn't doing
And
the
that's
exact
what you
same
know.
amount of
And I know it's a
workload.
show, and I'm not. I love the show as well. But at the same time, it is a show showing a perspective of one person who automatically feels this way. We can't pretend that this is how it actually goes in the real world.
But sometimes it goes.
Well, it
Sometimes-
does. Yeah, like Gabrielle-
But anybody knows, all the lower level employees work way harder, 90% of the time, than VPs
But-
and directors.
but we're
But
talking
in
about
the
two people
scenario,
in
they
the
were on
same
the same position.
Right,
It
but-
wasn't a lower level.
But in at times, you'll put in a factor: who do they know? How did they get the job? What was really told to them? What they had to do inside their interview process?
An
but
attorney's
see, that's a
office.
problem.
They're lawyers. They do the same thing.
No, they don't. In lawyer's office, if you're connected very well with the firm, you get a nice little bonus.
So
to it.
you're saying let's just say in real world term, if she was connected, like maybe he's connected.
I don't speak for all men, by the way.
But I'm just
so
saying,
a
if
lot of
she
guys
was
feel different
correct,
than
if
me.
she
See,
was
do you
connected,
see how he's trumping our
Yes,
questions?
I
He's
know
not answering
because
the
I'm just
question.
like, so what you're saying is she was connected, like he was connected, they would be probably paid the same amount.
I feel like we know some situations where, because the woman was well connected, that's the only reason. I'm surrounded at times by situations just like that, where I know there's qualified males for the position, but females can receive it just because of who they know. Plain and simple. Mm-hmm. And that's the way it goes. So that's why back in the day, like I said, I could have had this argument back in the days where it was where it was visible, like, yeah. And though you might still have some situations, the scenarios also flips. It's the same way back and forth.
But I think our scenario is the majority. I feel like those instances are the minority, and you still got women to this day fighting to be paid equally as a man.
Equally, I believe that they should get equal pay.
Like Gabrielle Union literally just did an interview saying that that one, she got like 2 stripes against her because one, she's African American, and 2, she's a female. They go for the same role. To be an actor, you got the same credentials. Go for the same role, and a male counterpart, they just so happened to be talking about it. They were all in a group, and they got paid way more than she got paid. She got more movies under her belt, everything. And just because they were, one, not African American, and 2, because they were a male, they got paid sometimes twice more than what she was getting paid. Just because.
What's up with that?
And she went into detail. I didn't want to go into detail about everything that she said because I can't quote her, but she explained it. Like, she had proof showing receipts and everything. She said, and that's Hollywood. Like, to this day, still,
agree,
that's
it's
Hollywood.
And at the same time, it's really who you know and who can negotiate for you. I guarantee you, if the person said, I want 100K, that's it, give it to me or leave me alone, they had to give it to him. And if Gabby probably didn't voice her opinion, you understand? Like, sometimes paper works. Sometimes your voice works. It depends on the situation that you go in now these days. I don't think, for me, maybe I'm being naive. Maybe I'm not trying to see the bigger picture. Maybe I'm not trying to understand it, because I want to say as well that, because I'm a black male, that's the reason why I'm not getting paid what I'm supposed to. I'm just like, no, I understand this world right now. Like, it's literally your connections that's going to get you where you need to go.
Every single time.
One of my kids asked me today. They were just like, "Oh, how come you didn't get this position?" And I said, "It's funny because some people will get a position because of what they know, and others will get a position because of who they know. You just need to know, where did you fall in?"
Well, I kind of agree, sort of, kind of, but
That don't make
I
it right.
think in certain situations, no matter who you know, I really feel like they're going to still pay the male counterpart more than the woman. That's just how I feel. But do I believe in equal pay? Yes, I do.
There's equal pay out there.
How do you feel about equal pay? Is what we
Equal
asked.
pay is there. There's
didn't
I
ask-
told you. There's no position in this, from what I know in this world, that's set at the price that you see. There's always going to be a minimum and a maximum. No one could come in on the same pay. That's it. whether they throw more fringe at you, which is more benefits and insurance, you're worth more on paper than what you actually bring home. No one is equal. Me and my colleagues now who work the same job, we're not equal. Same year, I'm getting a little more than them.
Because you a male and they a
No, they're a
female.
male as well.
I'm joking.
wasn't-
I'm joking.
All right, moving on to our next question. Can two breadwinners still
I love
be
the
in-
ladies, by the way. They should get money.
You know what? Don't be
Finally
don't
answered the
try to-
question. He ain't trying to trump it.
don't do that. Can you have two breadwinners in a relationship and it still work?
Yes, Jay-Z and Beyonce. Prime example.
We don't even know their life.
We don't know their life,
We
but
don't
they
even
making
know
it
their
work.
life. Are they?
I don't know.
'Cause
It
he
worked
did
for
get-
them.
He did get in a fight in the elevator with her
And
sister.
She's still with him though.
But we don't
Wasn't
know.
we don't know if it was about money.
It could have been about that money, but the thing is, they both breadwinners. The question is, can two breadwinners make it work?
But we don't know if it's working. We don't know if it's working. How do you know? What would be the indication that it's working?
They still married.
Then to answer your question was to both working hard, making the money, doing that, then yeah, I think it would work. What type of relationship would it be? That would just be a working relationship. That's two breadwinners. And at the same time, breadwinners, are we saying that they are long hours at work? Like, is it that type of breadwinner that your life is at the job?
When I define breadwinners, I'm just saying two people who make good money. Two people who make good money. I don't
necessarily dedicating their time to the
I'm
office.
not detailing. I mean, if you make good money, majority of the time you are spending.
So yeah, I think you could make it work. It's just gonna be on your time. Yeah, it's gonna be on what you decide what it is.
Okay. I mean, for me, I think sometimes it will be a conflict because when I define breadwinners, it's two people who are, on their grind when they always have time to see each other. Now, I've seen two entrepreneurs make it work because they were in the same industry. I've seen kind of two doctors make it work, but that was in Grey's Anatomy. We don't know how real that is.
Okay. That is a show.
It is a show. It is a show.
Like I said, I think it depends on the people because, say, for instance, we have a goal as a couple, and say you're more advanced or it's your skill or your craft that's going to get us to that goal. It's certain things I would hope for you to make your marriage work that you say, okay, I have to dedicate this many hours. And then the wife may say, okay, yes, that's fine, but you also have to commit to when it's family time, this sort of time is Barack and Michelle.
We don't really know the intricacies of their relationship. We don't know the details of their relationship. We don't know the struggles of their relationship. You know what I'm saying? And we look at these, hashtag relationship goals and don't realize that it takes a lot of work. Like you said, it does. There is a mindset that two people must have in order to make just any relationship work, but also two people who are making about the same amount, bringing home the same amount of money to be able to respect each other in whatever position or role they play in each other's
Agreed.
life and move forward, All right. So as we talk about
We said last show. No, I don't think it was last show. I think it was a conversation that me and Greg are having a debate.
you and LOL.
Who?
Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. LOL. Because we're talking about the whole Chris Brown and Rihanna situation, but that's neither here nor there. A man can be harassed just because they're not more vocal, like some women may be, or just because they don't express themselves more, that doesn't mean it's not done. So I think now companies do know, look, a man can be harassed just as well as a woman, and anybody can come out and say it just as well as if a man sexually harassed, he could sue that company and get that.
So people are drinking, they're talking, and then you get the next day at work hit with this sexual harassment. And it's just like, okay, what is the fine line between? Before, it was like a line. It's like, okay, wait a minute. You grabbed her on the butt, or you said something really nasty. But now it's just just like, whoa, wait a minute. Just because I brushed you, I was like, and I told you, excuse me, that's sexual harassment. Or because I stared at you too long, that's sexual harassment. And yes, so you just have to be really careful. And it's for both men and women.
Taking advantage is a little different because the laws are there, and cross any one of them, you're liable. That's it. So it's literally stay to yourself while you're at work.
Or outside of work. Like if it's
And
a work
outside of work.
social,
And outside of
it's
work.
like stay away. You can't even have like a real conversation.
Yeah, I say just everyone just be mindful and just be careful.
You
like,
gotta be
you can't
careful.
even, and not saying that it's okay to do, because I went through the training, so I know not to say it. But ooh, you look good today. Like I love that. You make somebody feel uncomfortable. That's it. Call it a day.
And that's it. Just because you paid them a compliment, and it's amazing how sensitive we are. She come home. Do you think it's hard for women to submit to their husbands?
No. Reason being,
Nigga,
I'm
unrealistic?
gonna be no. I'm being realistic because we actually met a couple.
Really?
We met
Hello,
a couple.
y'all met a couple?
With 5 years. I'm gonna remind him. Met a couple in 5 years. AJ's first school that he ever went to, his private school. It was a couple there. They had 5 kids. The wife was I think she worked at a bank or something, and the dad was a stay-at-home dad. She brought in the money. He was a stay-at-home.
A lot of them are divorced. Now, some of them made
I
it
agree with
work.
that.
Some of them made it work, but a lot of them, you know, they couldn't switch.
And I think that's bad on our part, because you have people now, say you're in that role and you have that role. Now you have people looking up to you thinking that's the right way to go. Oh, because I have this role, then I can tell him what to do. And that's not how God intended it to be. So if you're in that role and you're actually doing this and portraying this, and then you're telling women it's okay to belittle their husband, then that's a problem, because that's not how it's supposed to be. Again, like I've always said it before, it doesn't matter how many zeros are on your check. That is still the man and you are still the woman. You guys should be able to submit to one another. It don't matter how much he make or how much I make.
LOL.
What's the question?
Oh my God! I already know the question. No, ain't nobody playing with you.
Bringing in the money, and it worked. Well, on the other hand, I know some people that that's not going to happen. I'm bringing the money, so you can't really tell me what to do. If I want to buy this, I'm going to buy this. I can care less what you think. So I think it's going to be either way. Some can make it, some can't.
Some can't.
The question would be, how
do they make it work?
No, for the guys. If the woman's the breadwinner, how many guys will, you know what I'm saying? Like, how many guys will not feel intimidated by that? And I think that's where you might have the downfall, because some men will go in their shell, and they're the ones who become...
So are you saying not necessarily it's hard for the woman to submit, but it's hard for them to submit because the man won't allow them to submit?
I think it'll be hard for the man to even lead.
Okay, because he doesn't feel like a man.
He's the breadwinner.
He's not the breadwinner.
In a world that we know that they tell us that
we should be taught that in a relationship, it's based on teamwork. So if we're working together to make everything work, not really based on who's bringing the money, who's not bringing the money, but if we're working together, like you said, the couple, the man was a stay-at-home dad and the wife went to work. If that's how the team is working, I think that that's perfectly fine. But because we have these particular roles that people want to stick men and women in, then you do have women who like, oh no, I make the money so I can say whatever I want to say. And then you have men who be like, well, she make the money so I can't really lead, you know? But if we're taught that it really is not about the money, but how this team works, and how God, you know, structured the man and how God structured the woman, then we can make the team work even in that particular setting. So that's how I feel about that.
I like that. I like it.
Thank you so much.
I can dig it. Then it don't matter. Versus if that's what you want, that BP role, that people under you want to roll and just have that status and be on that field, then obviously that status means to you. That status is something to you. So it also, I think it depends on the person and what they want and your goals and what you want. Because if your goal is to change the life of a child, you're okay with being a teacher, or you're okay with leading a community project because you're changing lives of kids every day. You don't necessarily want, I'm the VP of a banking industry, because that's not what you want.
Yeah, but then wouldn't we say that a teacher would want to be the teacher of the year?
But that's
you
still
wanna
not
be the
changing
best-
her status.
Yeah, but that's
She
the
would be
status.
the-
But that's okay. Maybe then for me, career just means even if you're choosing to be a teacher and you don't want to be the principal, assistant principal, then you want to be the best teacher at the school.
Oh, definitely.
That's the status.
That is the status.
Okay. I agree. Well, I would hope that anything that you do, you would want to be the best
and
of the
that's
best
what
of
you
what
would
you
consider
do. So, yeah.
career status to be. Whatever you do, you want to be the top person at that job.
Yeah.
So how would, my thing is, what's your mindset on status? Like, are you the type of person like, dang, I really want to be, the best at banking, or, is status for you like a game, like you're winning this trophy, something you could put on the stand at home, like, you could walk around with your head up, or is it just, I love my job, I get to go home and take care of my child, put food on the table, and that's pretty much it.
I think for me, it's just whatever I put my mindset to do, I would want to be the best of it. Like, I have this thing where, say, God forbid, I die tomorrow. I want them to say, you know what, I can never find a person to do what she did. Mm-hmm. She was one of a kind. Like, you can tell there was something special about her because she was one of a kind. She did. Of course, I want my job to be fulfilling, and of course, also my family is number one to me. But whatever I do, whether I want to be a stay-at-home mom and I decide to be AJ's teacher for the rest of his life, or whether I decide to be a teacher tomorrow, or whether I decide to stay in the banking industry, I want to, whatever I put my hands to do, I want to do it to the best of my ability.
Okay. LOL.
What's the question?
The question is, does career status mean the same to men than it does to women?
No, I don't think so. I don't
Okay.
think it should to anybody across the board.
I was gonna say, do you think it's a gender thing, or do you think it's a person thing?
Nah, I think it's a person thing.
Okay.
Yeah, because you want to see where you want to go in life. Like, everyone have different dreams and different visions and different goals. So,
But isn't status for men like this,
not all men.
Not all men.
Not all men.
Okay.
That's why I said it's more of a personal thing. I don't think it's a male woman, because I know of some women that wanted to be dean at a university, or wanted to be somebody at a law firm, a high-end prosecutor or something like that. Like, I know they wanted the full max. They wanted to become a judge. So, yeah, it's on both sides. But for me, yeah, it's not a game. I think the way I was raised, your status is your level of gratitude or your level of accomplishment.
Okay.
So, so if you're in a job and you're moving up in the ranks, that's because they see the work that you're doing. So if I've been in a job for 10 years, I'm at the same position, it's like, what have I been doing if everybody else around me is getting promoted and moving up? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No, I feel you on that one. I think for status with me is like, shoot, it just means more money.
She's like, pay me, but you ain't even got to name me
that's
VP. Just give me that check, and I'm okay.
When you move up and get that promotion, for me, I just see the money in it. And also, I see the prestige and the acknowledgement that you get. It makes you feel good, as you continue to move up. That's how I feel about it. So I go in there like a thug. No, I'm joking.
She's strong arming the company. Pay me my check.
Oh, God. So do you guys believe that men of status look more attractive than women of status?
Of course.
Really?
Why?
Really?
I'm a
Really?
male, so I have to sticking with my kind.
I mean, I think any individual, whether it's male or female, if you're goal driven and you have that fire to be the best of the best, whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you work at a bank or anything.
No, but the question is, do men of status look more attractive to people? Like, do they
To
attract
people.
Yeah, so you see, like, more women want to marry a man with money. You know what I'm saying? But I rarely hear men say, yeah, I want to get her because she got money.
I want to
You
get her
know,
because she's
well,
a lawyer.
Gold diggers.
Right. It's a little different in this generation, but when I was growing up, it was never like
Yeah, I
a dude
agree
was like,
with you.
oh yeah, she got that paper, so I want to get with her. It was usually because she looked pretty, she had a,
And
Nah, I'll
before they wanted to get with her
I
because she
ran-
had money.
I ran with a crew,
So
if
they were
you seen a
womanizers.
girl- It's not womanizers. Well, yeah. Listen.
Because they
No, if you saw a grown woman in a Lexus BMW, you want to get with that
Okay.
because
she got money,
She got it.
so she could pay your
Even
bill.
if she with another man, I can get at on this side.
Savages.
Disrespectful. That's
But
funny.
yeah, but it's not. Oh, she's gonna take care of. Like, you understand? Like, I get what you're saying. Yes, it's rare
So
that
it's
you'll
a-
hear a man say, "Damn, she got that. She beyond 6 figures." Like, to some men, it'll be intimidating.
Exactly.
To some men, that'll be intimidating.
That's how I feel
don't-
about it.
yeah.
But I feel like to others, it's like a badge. Like, yeah, I got her.
Oh
She
no!
make all this
Oh,
money.
if
It's a
you could-
badge.
yeah. Why not?
Like it's a
If you
badge.
can get, what do you think all them thugs do? When they just sit on the couch and get a girl,
You know what?
that's gonna
That's
go out
true.
and work.
That's
That's the
true.
same mentality, but on a lower level. That's it. Like,
that
if so,
makes
they can
sense.
get one that could take care of them while they just sitting on the couch. You
So
bang.
just
to
as
be a
long-
40-year-old
It
rapper.
doesn't matter if you're a man or woman, just as long as you got that status,
if
that
you
paper,
can,
then you good.
Yeah.
You look attractive no matter what, right?
but men is still more attractive.
Really?
With that
Disrespectful.
money.
Why?
Disrespectful.
Why? LOL. Please enlighten us.
Please.
I don't know. I think it's just a thing in this life. That's
Oh, so not necessarily you believe it. It's just a thing.
it's just a thing. You know, it's funny. Society, the way they make us think, and that's all it is. I know a preacher says it as in, like, the only reason why we think the way we think is who's controlling the media and who's showing us what we need to. You understand? Like, when I see a
true.
Ferrari on a billboard, if I see a Ferrari with a girl on a billboard,
You gonna want to buy it?
not so much. But I know what the reason why they put the girl on the billboard, because
So you can
she
look
makes
at
the
the
Ferrari
Ferrari.
look attractive. For a man, if I get a Ferrari, I can get that. Do you understand? The man is motivated to buy the Ferrari to get
Because-
the woman.
right.
We never think that, dang, the woman got enough money to own the Ferrari.
You know what? You
Like,
never
that's-
think
that's
that.
true.
You don't think that,
That is-
she's in her bikini for a reason because she's about to go to the beach with her friend. You're just like, if I buy a Ferrari, I can get that.
That's what the
Like,
Ferrari
that's-
comes with.
That's
the
what
package,
you understand.
right?
So that's why I say, yeah, it looks sexier when a man has money because of the perks.
Right.
But you won't see a bunch of men in their shorts trunks or their underwear standing in front of Ferrari, and the women's like, "Damn." Because they won't even put that billboard up.
No,
because
they
why
wouldn't.
are you in front of
Yeah.
In your underwear.
in your underwear? Are you
with no shirt
What
on.
we do is we say that's a crazy company right there. You have crazy advertising skills.
It's true.
Who was your marketing person?
Yeah, you know what? That makes sense. Because at the end of the day, you know, when you do, because if I was to see the Ferrari, I'll be like, oh, that's a pretty Ferrari. I mean, you know, the girl, the whole setting, oh, wow, that's pretty. You know what I'm saying? But for a man, they're thinking about the whole package, like, oh, I can get her and the car. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I agree with that. So, okay, our question of the day. So we kind of have two. We're going to combine that. The first one is, how do we get to true equality in the workplace? Can you think there could ever be, and we going back to that first question, do you think that, and what LOL say, I think it's going to be a no, but do you think there could be true equality in the workplace?
I would hope that one day we can, but not to put politics in there. But hello, if our president and chief don't respect women, what makes you think that the whole majority is going to?
LOL.
And don't rebuttal because we have very interesting conversations. That's why I'm like, I didn't want to throw the president and chief in there, but
I'm listening.
we ready.
No, I don't think we'll ever get to that point. Even though we say we're supposed to be. Even though I say we are, we're always going to have that argument. The moment someone sees a check, they're going to feel it's because of gender, and they're going to feel it's because of skin color. So I don't think at the end of the day it could ever get to that point. Only because who we feel controls the top anyways. Whoever is holding that treasury box is the one that makes the decisions anyways.
But I'm just saying, even when Obama was in office, was there true equality?
It wasn't
Pay.
true, but I think
It wasn't
he
true
was.
'cause
It
we're still
wasn't
having the
true. We're still
conversation.
having the same conversation, but I feel
Clearly.
like they were working towards something.
Okay.
You get what I mean?
I feel that there's going to always be a mindset or a stereotype towards men and women until we are able to change that. And also, too, like what he was saying earlier, with the people that you know. Like, if you know somebody, then, yeah, they'll probably slide you an extra $2 an hour, or whatever in your salary. So I think the only time true equality in the workplace can come is when people are really just true. But I don't think that would happen.
Of course not.
We don't live in that type of society. But
unfortunately,
because that's why they would try to make what's the society that everybody get the same pay. Like, is that in Canada where they do that?
No, I'm not sure.
Everybody gets the same pay, whether you're a doctor or a lawyer or whatever. And then
I would
everybody
hate to be there.
Everybody gets health care. It doesn't matter what you do, you get the same pay.
I think in Spain or Canada,
I
somewhere
forgot,
overseas,
but
it's not in the United
there.
States,
But
but
it's-
healthcare is
it's
free.
like
Oh
that.
no, that would hurt me.
Really?
See, that would hurt me.
Why?
A doctor
And
getting the
color-
same pay as everyone else.
Yeah.
Oh, that would hurt.
Yep.
The education is different.
Well,
The schooling
they
is
believe in
different.
The education
they
is
believe
free.
in the
You don't have
equality.
to pay for it.
And I think in this country, I don't think that there will ever be true equality because this is a capitalistic country. You know what I'm saying? So it's got to be.
I know sports. The ball players would hate that. Because they make
steroids
Yes.
they make money.
And they get paid
if they would get the same and have to play 82 games.
They would. They would.
I don't know about that.
No, not at all. Okay, so should women have to choose between family and career?
Should they? No,
Yeah.
they shouldn't. But do they? I totally believe they do.
They do have to choose between.
I
family and
believe they do. If you want it, it all depends. Again, it depends on the status and where you're trying to go and what you want. Because I see where some women, their family doesn't lack, or they've waited till their kids got grown before they sought to seek that VP position. Versus you have some women you have to put in that time. So if you got 2 VPs working and y'all got kids, somebody's lacking at home. Not unless you have that support system where you probably got a nanny or you got a grandma or somebody helping with the kids. I guess it all depends on the person, but unfortunately something goes lacking. If you're putting in all that time to push your career forward and you have a family, you have little ones, time gets taken away from them. So yes, your career is excelling, but you lost out time with the kids. Like, I've seen both. I've seen both examples where you have 2 VPs. Well, one's a VP and one's higher up now. But you see where the VP waited before she got to that VP status, waited till her kids were way older before she sought out her career. Versus somebody that just grind. And then you see the difference in their kids.
Okay. LOL. What's the question?
No. I know the question, but for the fun of it, can you repeat? No, let me say. I think you should choose between the two. I think career is career and family is family. Now, don't get it twisted. I'm not saying stay at the same level and don't move up because you have kids. Because if you know how to raise. If you know how to do it, then do it. Like, you understand? But if more time is going to be at work and family is going to get lost, then...
But why should the woman have to choose, though? Shouldn't it be...
That was the question you said.
But I'm just saying...
You didn't put man in there. You didn't say...
No, what I'm saying... But what I'm saying is... Well, I had to put man in there because my thing is, it seems like in a relationship, the woman is the one that has to sacrifice between her career or
because it's okay
taking care
for
of the
I guess
family.
she's saying
It's
from
never
yeah.
the man like, okay, babe, I'm going to let you go ahead and do what you got to do and I'll stay home. I rarely see that.
Well, the topic that we're talking about is more... What was driven by the world. Like, we don't talk about that, the man being okay with... It's always
Staying
been...
home.
Yeah, it's always been, it's the mother. She's the nurturer. How, Amor was saying earlier today. But there is some guys... Like, it would kill me. It would kill me to do it. But I'm in that mindset of being able to do that. now, like knowing the ridicule I can get from it. But I would be that one that says, "All right, go career." I would hate it. Don't get it twisted. I'm not a typical guy without jealousy in my life. Like that's not me.
Right.
My wife, sorry, if she wants to, she can. But I know the Lord would have to work on me in order for me to be like, work. Yeah, you can do work and never be home and work. While we're here as a family, you can work. But it would be wrong for me to then go out, do work, and let her stay home. Like, you understand? Like,
yes.
I think it's okay when a guy does it. No one thinks about it and just like, oh, okay, he's
a
doing
man,
church.
yeah.
He's, you know what I'm saying? But then if the woman was doing it, it's just like, what? She's sleeping with somebody else or something? Because you know,
You gotta put 12 hours in at the office.
I think it's embedded in us.
Right.
That the woman is the one that's going to take the L while the man be the breadwinner. But that's because we're saying, and we're taught that. And I think that it's still, even though it's changing a little, I think that is still the topic of everything is the male is the breadwinner. Let him work while you get to relax at home.
Now, does that come from a biblical reference when God, and we're gonna wrap it up, but when God curses Adam and Eve and says that he is going to have to toil the soil, and then she's going to have to bear kids with pain? Do you think that that's another reason why it's embedded for men to work?
No, I don't think that. I don't think that way anymore.
No.
No.
Well, I mean, anymore. But before, do you think that?
No, I think that still is
okay.
The topic of concern, as in, yes, the male is supposed to be the worker, while the woman is supposed to. And it's funny, it doesn't say that after she gives birth, that's it. That's her life. Like, she's forever going to have pain and having to just raise the child. It doesn't, like, you understand? It doesn't say that. In the earlier times, that was the case, but the women were still working, even with kids at home. They were out in the field
working,
getting food. Like, you understand? Like, they were still working while the man was maybe out in the street ministering and talking to someone.
Like Peter,
like
the disciples.
Like they were still working.
Exactly.
It never, their careers never stopped. It was just unfortunate they didn't have other careers there. You had the Queen of Sheba. You had Deborah, who was a judge. Like, you had high end, but it wasn't like known across the world. Like, yeah, every woman could be a judge, or every woman could stand up to be a queen. So what you had to do, you had to work at home. You're the one that was going to make the negotiations to bring food on the table. The husband was going to bring the money, but you still had to go out there and work. So even back then, they knew how to juggle career, making a life and home, because what they did was they realized how to merge career and family together.
But everything was not put upon the shoulder of the woman.
Right.
Right.
And that's the same way. Like, we don't never discuss merging career and family together. Like, how am I going to make my career take care of my family? It's no, see, because even when we discuss career right now, we're talking about someone taking care of their self, getting to their status, and it's just like, then why'd you bring this family? Because it was no longer you. It's the same when men and women become one. It's no longer do your dream, babe, or do your dream, honey. It is now. It's supposed to be our dream. Why is somebody taking a back road for something that's supposed to be jointly thought about together, and done together? But that's the way we speak, and that's the way we talk, and that's the way we think. It has to be a mindset of somebody has to take the L. And in this world, it's unfortunately 90% the women are taking the L.
We always taking the L. I want to end with saying that thank you guys for sharing your perspectives on career and money, and just the whole, because you guys are married, so the whole relationship aspect of it. Because I am single or whatever.
What?
I'm working on that.
Shameless plug. Shameless plug. Just saying.
Working on that. But what I've realized in it, and it's true, the more and more I get to know about just the Bible and some biblical things that I was taught, I don't want to say it was taught wrong, but it was taught in a perspective of somebody else's way. When you think about it, it is teamwork. It is how is this team going to work together? How are we going to make this work together? And I think about going back to the young couple that had got married and how they made it work despite the odds of people telling them you guys are doing it too young, you know. And a lot of times we can't go based on what other people think or how other people feel, and that's really hard to say. I'm not gonna lie, that is really hard to say. But when you want to make something work, career, money, family, all of that, you will find a way to make it work. And recently, no, I don't know her, LOL, but Serena just got married.
She did.
And her dress was so beautiful.
Both of them. You saw it?
Yeah, so congrats.
You had liked the
Serena,
pictures,
just
right?
in case,
I did.
just in case you watched
She's going to
it.
respond to you. You got it.
I did like the pictures. But I look at her. She did career. I'm not really sure within her career if she was looking for love in family, but she eventually got what she was looking for. The marriage, she has her career.
Beautiful daughter.
She has a child now. And I mean, I'm not comparing myself to them, because we don't know what's going on in their lives, but you can make it work. It really is not based on, what other people have to say. It's just really based on how you are making this team work. Any last thoughts from you guys? No?
Equal rights, equal pay.
LOL trying to get hurt. He trying to have somebody find him. But
I just hope y'all never make the same amount of money I'm making.
Why not?
Disrespectful.
Why not?
Because that means I just got to work harder to make more.
You see, I don't know if this team is going to work right here. I don't know. We just talked about teamwork. But thank you guys for watching us. Thank you for staying tuned at the Wrong Relationship Project presents Relationship Talk with Marmoline. I'm your host, Marmoline, and this is Nikki Amore. You guys have a great day.
Shaboom.